You are now tuned in to Go Time Dolphins with Charlie Touche and Kadeem Simmons, the Miami Dolphins podcast that's for the fans and by the fans.
Gotta make them lose their mind when it's your time. And it's show time. Going all out when it's go time. Go. I ain't wasting no time. Gotta make them lose their mind when it's show time. Cause it's your time. Lay it on the line when it's go time. Go. Don't waste no time.
The Miami Dolphins get help at safety on the defensive line. Tua Tagovailoa nearing a contract extension. So much to discuss and more. With me, as always, Mr. Charlie Touche. How are you?
It's Go Time Dolphins, the Miami Dolphins podcast that goes not only across the pond, but across the world. I'm your boy, Charlie Touche. I got my co-host, Kadeem Simmons, with me. It's always for the fans and by the fans. Your favorite podcast, and official affiliates of Fanatics, where you could be a fanatic of your favorite franchise.
Where did you get that from?
I don't know. I came up with it off the dome.
I was like, yo, did we get like an official warning or something? Like, I'm checking. Like, yo, did I miss the post-it note? Like, I like that.
Nah, I kind of came up with it off the dome, bro. I felt like there was some wordplay in there. I could, I'll be writing. You feel me? So,
I'm about to get that on a t-shirt. Welcome to IMAX. Says, what's up, Kadeem, Charlie, and chat. Welcome, Cap for life. He says, gentlemen. And yeah, it's been a while. IMAX says, hit the like button, please. I'll say smash that like button, and I won't say please. But yeah, it's been a while. Life. It's that it's that horrible time of the season where it's like there's nothing. Everyone's just chilling, relaxing. If you're the East Rutherford Paper Planes, you've got a bunch of issues. Players not turning up, all that kind of stuff. If you're the Miami Dolphins, it's somewhat quiet. Had a few new additions. You've had some contracts elsewhere in the league that have kind of not put pressure on you as a team, but it's kind of put into focus what you might have to pay a particular someone in the very, very near future. Very quickly.
Before you, I was about to say before you go into whatever you're about to go into, but are you about to go into football?
Yes and no, but nothing to do with the Dolphins, more to do with myself.
Oh, go ahead. Let's hear it.
So yeah, again, just a reminder, I am at the Jacksonville game and the Buffalo game. I'm here for week 1 and week 2 of the 2024 season. And yeah, we'll be working out what game Charlie's attending, all of that kind of stuff. So stay tuned on that front. Hopefully we'll have some amazing Go Time Dolphin things coming up for you. Charlie, what was you going to say?
So you say you was maxing and chilling or relaxing or something. And it reminded me of a post that GTD affiliate posted on Twitter, which was Josh Katzker. He had a post a long time ago, maybe over a year. And he was like, what's the best TV show like intro music? You know how they have intro music, like Family Matters and stuff. Like, which one was which is like, I guess, top 5 classics? You know what I'm saying? He had Cheers at 1, I think. I don't want to mess up his list, but I think he had Cheers at 1. Boom, boom. But in the comments, if y'all can remember some TV intros, what do you think was like? What are the classic TV intros? I think Family Matters, was one that I remember, but it's not a classic to me. I just remember it for whatever reason. What intros you got, Kadeem, that you remember?
There's like, I feel like, especially for like around mine and your generation, because obviously you're a bit older than me, but I feel like we kind of really grew up with some really memorable intros, like the little Seinfeld bop. Like, I wouldn't call it like a full intro, but like that. The Frasier little intro. That's pretty cool.
I don't know the Frasier intro. Hey, let us know in the comments though. But hold on, continue. What's the Frasier intro?
It's like Like a real like jazzy little thing, which is pretty cool. The Simpsons is quite iconic.
Yeah.
Friends is quite iconic. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air is the one that like.
So that's the one that sparked this conversation, because you said you was chilling and relaxing, and I was trying to remember the line. Is it I forgot how it's chilling outside. What do you say? Maxing, relaxing, chilling outside, something, whatever. All cool. A couple of guys. Those are them no good. Started making trouble in my neighborhood. I can't remember the wordplay that he used right there with chilling, maxing, relaxing.
Let's have a look.
I couldn't remember his wordplay.
Again, like it's on the tip of my tongue. It's is it he's outside of school, but it's I'm trying to think of the intro to it. Either way, I know exactly what you're talking about. So yeah, there's two black guys can't even sing the Fresh Prince intro. It's embarrassing.
Martin was a good one. I'm the man. Not a classic though, but there's more other classics. But nah, man. All right. So Kadeem's going to the Jacksonville game and the Buffalo game, and they're in the news. Jacksonville is in the news because they have a $55 million quarterback. The Jacksonville Jaguars have signed Trevor Lawrence to a $55 million APY contract.
Very quickly, thank you. So shout out to Joe Levesque in the comments. In West Philadelphia, born and raised in the playground where I spent most of my days, chilling out, maxing, relaxing, and cooling out, feeling shooting some people outside of the school. When a couple of guys, they're up to no good, started making trouble in the neighborhood. I got into one little fight, and my mom got scared. Yeah, Joe, thank you so much for that. I could not work out the interest of that song, and I probably messed up a bit. And yeah, if aliens came down and said, "Sing karaoke, and we won't destroy your home planet," I would not choose that song. But thank you so much for that. But sorry, Charlie, you were saying.
I was saying, to be fair, I knew that how the song started. I could have started the song, Kadeem. I was just trying to get to that one part, but no worries. We will clip that off and use it on your birthday or something. And, I remember we could do it. You know what I'm saying? So $275 million deal for Sunshine, Trevor Lawrence. And all of a sudden, yesterday's price is not today's price, Kadeem. When you heard that Trevor Lawrence was getting the same amount of money as Joe Burrow, what were your first thoughts, and like where were you when you found out? What was your reaction?
I feel like I woke up to the news that Trevor Lawrence signed his deal. It must be like around like 11, 12 UK time PM. And I think like peek behind the curtain. I know like this is normally like my prime time of being up. Like it's currently 11:15 PM. Now, like with this new job and stuff, I'm sleeping. I am exhausted. When Charlie's like, "Hey, we're going normal time," I'm like, "Yo, I'm tired. That's my bedtime. I should be out cold." But you know, this is just I'm no longer up at 11 PM. So, in terms of my thoughts and feelings, it's very much a case of we kind of spoke about the Jalen Waddle deal and getting in front of that deal before everyone else comes up.
Brandon Ayuk.
Yeah, and you kind of feel like the Dolphins probably wants to get in front of the Trevor Lawrence deal, because now two sides are going to come to the table and be like, well, Trevor Lawrence is getting this, we want this. And I think that's why it's so interesting, because social media, especially Dolphin fans, were like there really is two sides of the argument. There's the, well, even if the stats don't quite sit up with Trevor Lawrence, he's won a playoff game, and that one playoff game means he deserves that money. And then the other side is, well, Tua may not have won a playoff game, but back-to-back MVP candidate seasons when healthy, winning record, and it's only a matter of time before that playoff game victory happens. So it's fascinating. It really, really is fascinating. And yeah, as you're talking, I'll get up some of the comments. There's quite a few. I won't interject too much. I kind of just get them on the screen. People can see them. If you're not watching on YouTube, come join us. You can see what people are saying in the chat.
So if you're a GTD fan, We rock with you. We appreciate you. Shout out to all the patrons on Patreon. Rock with us on Patreon. Go Time Dolphins. So we maybe had one episode a week, probably for like the past 2-3 weeks. Kadeem, is that accurate?
Yeah, about that, yeah.
So Kadeem just mentioned that 11 o'clock is past his bedtime now, and usually this was our starting time. And I, on the other hand, have this crazy schedule that I won't even try to help people understand. And it puts me where I wake up around this time, actually. So if you have an eagle eye, you probably catch it on YouTube sometimes. Like, hey, that boy look like he just got out of bed, and I probably did, right? So it's kind of messing with the schedule of Go Time Dolphins, but we here nonetheless. That being said, I've had an idea before the Trevor Lawrence contract came out for an episode. And you guys know me and Kadeem don't discuss episodes beforehand. We just come on and we do it and we chop it up. We chop up Dolphin football just so we could keep it as two friends talking about the Miami Dolphins, and let's just see where the episode goes. That's kind of the hope for the most part of our relationships. But then I came up with this idea and I'm like, yo, Kadeem, I think we should do this. But since I work 72 hours a week, I have good intentions, but I forgot to get to it. And I forgot to tell Kadeem the idea for the episode that I had. And it was basically the name of the episode. And the episode was going to be, is Tua waiting on Love and Lawrence? And then a couple of days after I had the idea, Trevor Lawrence signs. So I had an epiphany, like, yo, maybe Tua's camp is like, nah, you know what? We'll ride this thing out a little bit, and we'll see what Trevor Lawrence is going to get paid and what Jordan Love is going to get paid. And then Trevor Lawrence got paid. So we missed the bus, Kadeem, and we could have had the episode out before Trevor Lawrence got paid and been right on time. But Trevor Lawrence does get paid, and he gets paid as much as Joe Burrow. And Sherrod Stevens in my phone having another baby. Like, not really, but dude is like, yo, he was afraid to open it, is what he said, because I sent it to him. He was like, yo, I was afraid to open it. I'll say this, man. Yesterday's price no longer today's price, Kadeem. Like, it's just not. And this is what the Dolphins get. It's unfortunate, but how do you justify Trevor Lawrence having getting paid the same amount as Joe Burrow, which is $55 million? Now, the Miami Dolphins don't have to justify that, but they do have to justify paying Tua less than Trevor Lawrence if that's what they had in mind. You see what I'm saying? So it is now understood, and I would like to believe it is understood for any football fan that is an understanding of how the cap works, that Tua will most likely reset the market now. If it wasn't before, I think it should be apparent now. I just don't see a world, Kadeem, where the Dolphins say, nah, we still want to pay you less than Trevor Lawrence, because it's no longer less than Joe Burrow. It's less than Trevor Lawrence now. And that's how capology and negotiations work. So, more so negotiations. So if I'm Tua, and I want to keep saying Tua's camp. No, you know what? If I'm Tua, I remember the Flores regime, bro. I remember almost getting traded. I remember my name getting drugged through the mud. I remember having to answer these questions and like, I don't even know when the trade deadline is, and tells me everything, and I come up here and then you guys tell me stuff, but I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I remember that press conference. I remember how agitated my boy looked. You know what I'm saying? And I think he should remember that right now, because now is the time where it's like, I performed, and I want to be paid like a number one quarterback, QB1, franchise, all this other good stuff. And it is what it is. And I can take a discount, and the discount is $57 million a year. That's the discount. Y'all can keep the 0.9. But in reality, I think that's what should happen.
It's going to be interesting because Dak Prescott isn't even on the market yet. And they're already saying that when he does touch the market, he wants $60 million a year. And he's not going to get it in Dallas, but you can easily see a team going to Dak. Yeah, we'll pay you $60 million a year.
I think it's more than 60. I think it's gonna be like 61, 2, 3 type stuff.
Yeah, and it's funny because when we had the episode, I think it was last week, about could Tua reset the market, and it was like, how can Tua reset the market, all that kind of stuff. It's like, because resetting the market, like within a week or two, the market goes up. Like you said, yesterday's price isn't today's price. So, if we had to pay, but people were arguing about paying Tua like 50, 51, 52 mil. Trevor Lawrence came in and said, well, I'm gonna get paid 55 now. And it's like, well, what do you do? Listen, I have no issue and no qualms with paying Tua 50 mil, but that was fine when 50 mil. And again, that was kind of like that was the floor when Trevor Lawrence hadn't got paid yet. Trevor Lawrence came into the league after Tua, and he's already got his deal. And again, Trevor Lawrence can probably said, you gave me Urban Meyer for 1 year. That's going to cost you 10 mil. Like that 1 year foolishness. Yes. Like that's actually zero. Like, I don't know what you were thinking. So it's crazy. And as the chat's going off. Thank for everyone in the chat for, keep us entertained. But there's a comment from Cap where he said earlier, yeah, better hope and pray Jordan Love and Mr. Irrelevant do not get signed first, because that will be a very bad look. And that's the thing, yeah. If the Packers and Jordan Love and the 49ers and Brock Purdy get a deal done before Tua, that's going to be interesting. From what we're reading in the media, it does seem like, I think I saw like back end of last week that the two sides are kind of like in touching distance now. So it does seem like they are on the same page or working towards a deal. But that was before Trevor Lawrence. Now it's a kind of case of, well, what do we do? What do we do? I think there was someone who kind of broke down the Trevor Lawrence contract. I'll get back to you in a sec. It's like Trevor Lawrence's like big cap year don't even kind of don't come into effect until like 2027, 2028. So it's like, yes, he's getting paid a lot of money, but that major like 40 plus cap hit is down the line. So I think people are going to get caught up on the average. All that matters, in my opinion, is they cap it over the next few years. And if the Dolphins do it right, it shouldn't be an issue.
Couple things to clear up. I think all that really matters is the guaranteed money, because then the average per year will not matter. Tua is just trying to get that guaranteed bread. So if anything ever happens, he's good. About Love and Purdy doesn't have to be paid for like 2-3 more seasons, if I remember correctly. So Purdy's a little different than maybe 2 seasons. Different than Love. Love is in the same draft as Tua. So Love is up now. And the thing about Love is, I think Love should take something right now. Like, yo, I'm up here. The only way I'm going to keep going up is if I have another really good season. And I don't know if I'm Jordan Love, if I want to bet on anybody want to bet. Everybody wants to bet on themselves. But if I'm his agent, I'm like, yo, I don't know that we're going to have a better value than what we do right now, because your value could go down this season and the way that NFC North looks like. But that's a whole nother go time NFC North. That being said, I think Love should get paid now, so he runs off with the bag. And if he stinks up the joint, they got the lemon. But Love is going to come in at like $52 million. $50 million. So if Love comes in at 52, 50, 51, there's no way Tua's camp could allow Tua to take under 55. Like the number, the APY has to now be 55 at a minimum. You know what I'm saying? So they missed their chance, and now Tua's gonna get the bag. Like the bigger bag, a bigger bag. Like he's gonna get a big bag, and then like a smaller bag right here. Like he's gonna be walking out like this. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I think is gonna happen now. And I'm okay with it, bro. Like, pay the man like he's supposed to get paid. I don't understand why we're talking about this, and people still have injury concerns. I don't have injury. I didn't have injury concerns when the concussions were happening. I didn't have those concerns, especially now that my dog is like a 4-stripe white belt, like I am.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So I read an article, and Sports Illustrated, but like the 49ers fan page. And it's basically saying the 49ers could end up paying Brock Purdy more than $65 million per year. And the article would basically centered around, well, yeah, now Trevor Lawrence has got his deal. 55 mil is like the current rate for a good young quarterback, depending on what you kind of want to say. You say young, but again, it's also shout out to Cat in the Hat, commenting, Jason Keck, Cap for Life, IMAX, Joe Levesque, everyone in the comments. If you haven't already, comment, leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, give us a follow on all the social medias, and if you're feeling generous, join us over on Patreon. But yeah, I just think it's funny how last week the conversation was, well, pay to around 50, 55 is completely crazy. A week later, it's 55 is kind of like the floor. Like if you pay, as always with social media and the media and all that kind of stuff, if Tua comes in under Trevor Lawrence, everyone's like, told you, Dolphins don't rate Tua, Joe Lawrence. But it's like, yo, it's as we said last week, until Patrick Mahomes is the high paid quarterback, I don't really care about quarterback contracts because in terms of quality and what they can do and what they've brought their team, Mahomes should be the high paid quarterback, but he's not. And there's a whole bunch of contracts that are coming up over the next few years where Trevor Lawrence and Joe Burrow are going to start falling down the list because, Brock Purdy, Tua, Dak, Jordan Love, CJ Stroud, all of these guys are going to get paid in the next 4 to 5 years. Josh Allen's probably going to get another contract. Mahomes might get another contract. The cap's going to go up. It's a fluctuating market, and to argue and fall out people over 4 to 5 mil, which isn't really our money, is insane in my opinion.
Something you said that I disagree with was if the Dolphins were close before Trevor Lawrence, they're probably not now. And I disagree. I think they got closer because of Trevor Lawrence, because I think the Dolphins had to concede and be like, dang, you know what I'm saying? We didn't beat the bomb. And the bomb was Trevor Lawrence. No, Kadeem, it's like this. When you do this, you're good.
Like what, sorry?
It didn't work out.
Yeah.
It didn't work out. But anyway, so I think once Trevor Lawrence got signed, it was we lost. You feel me? Now, all right. What were y'all talking about? Let's come back to the table. So yeah, it's inevitable now. And I think Tua will get paid before the season starts. And if he does not, that means I think there's a breakup on the horizon. I'm not this is not a headline like breaking news, but if the Dolphins do not sign Tua this year, it is blatant disrespect because they feel like he is not worth $50 million. Like, so you don't even think I'm worth 50? Nah, so we're good here. Like the disrespect that I went through, that y'all dragging my name through the mud, Brian Flores era, and now you're not paying me like I'm supposed to be paid. I'm out of here now. And I think that's the line in the sand for real. I think Tua walks if and he probably won't get the chance to walk, quote unquote, because they'll tag him a couple times, which wouldn't be cool for him. But it's business 101. Tua will get signed before the season starts. And if he doesn't, Tua will not be the Miami Dolphins quarterback of the future. And that's unfortunate.
Yeah. Shout out to Oos, says, pay the man of all the BS he's been through under Flores, and the kid has improved every year.
That's it.
Everything to get better. And again, that's just the argument, the fans of Tua, the people who think the Dolphins should move on. It's especially under McDaniel, everything you put in front of the kid, he's hit out of the park, to use a baseball analogy. And it's just a matter of at some point, like, you can't keep moving the goalposts. You have to pay the guy and say, you know what, let's instead of moving the goalposts, let's set the goalposts so we can work out, what's going to be success down the road and stuff like that. So, listen, I do think a contract gets done before training camp, if not during training camp. It's just a matter of, as you said over and over again, Charlie, Dolphins wasted 2 years of this kid's NFL career, and they're essentially paying the price now.
to put a button on this, shout out to Sherrod Steve. I won't attack him too much because he's not here to defend himself. That's just not me. But me and Sherrod Steve on the opposite end of this conversation, like we really going back and forth texting. I work 12-hour shifts, and I'm like, man, I'm not going to sleep on this. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't end the conversation like that. You feel me? So Sherrod Steve keeping me awake, and I had to hit him up. And I'll tell you one thing he said. He was like, so if we pay Tua $55 million, he's going to be a $55 million quarterback that hasn't had over 30 touchdowns, thrown over 30 touchdowns. And I said, Steve, and y'all heard me make this point before on this podcast. Tua had 4,600 yards passing last season. And in 7 of those games, the games were blown out of proportion in the fourth quarter, by the fourth quarter. So the third quarter, sometimes the games were over. And in the fourth quarter, he didn't have to do anything. Like we're protecting the ball now, protecting people's health now. So I asked Steve, I'm like, so Steve, would you want to sacrifice his protection and his health so he could make his stats look better in a game that's already won? Because I'm pretty sure you're one of the people that were, Chubb shouldn't have been in at that time, and this person shouldn't have been in right at that time. So we keep Tua in at the fourth quarter trying to pad stats in a game that's already won, so his contract looks like it matches his numbers. What are we doing? I thought the goal was to win and to make it to the Super Bowl and get to the playoffs healthy. You feel me? So again, he's not here to defend himself, but he had a lot of stuff to say that I disagree with. But shout out to Sherrod Steve.
Yeah, Sherrod Steve isn't here, but I will disagree with Raphael's comment in the chat. He said we can't pay him top market price, only one good year from 3 or 4 years of service. It seems nitpicky. He's been in the league 4 years. He's had 2 great years, in my opinion, and even the first 2 years under Brian Flores and like 10 different offensive coordinators, still came out with a winning record. Still beat teams, still kept the team competitive in some games. Yes, people always go back to that Titans game, but that Titans game when it was pissing down with rain and you guys want to throw the ball over and over again.
48 times.
That's like, guys, what we doing?
Shout out to Mike Gesicki highlighting that we threw the ball 48 times. Shout out to Mike Gesicki for that one. But yeah, I disagree as well. I think we're ready. I think Tua's legit. I think we're gonna be good. Made the playoffs past 2 seasons. Tua took us there. After you got rid of Flores and brought in some competent coaches, you can see that we're going to be a perennial playoff team. And it went from not making the playoffs to about to be living in the playoffs. And now we got to win a playoff game. But I'm not worried about winning a playoff game. I think the Dolphins are, again, we could have had the 1 seed if we didn't drop the ball last year, or even the 2 seed if we didn't drop the ball last year. And I think we're going to be in that same exact conversation this year. You just got to win these games. And I think we're locked in this time. Like, look out for a 1 or 2 seed from the Miami Dolphins this year.
Yeah. Also, Cap, Mike Gesicki is playing for the Bengals. He was at the Patriots last year. He's a Bengal now. So, yeah. And listen, I love Mike G. Shout out to Mike Gesicki. Shame it didn't work out in Miami. But what will work out in Miami, also we hope, is the Dolphins add in 2 defensive additions. Shout out to IMAC, said it a lot earlier. He said, I've wanted Calais Campbell to come here for years. Calais Campbell is a Miami Dolphin. Charlie, what do you make of that move before we get into the other one?
Calais Campbell, former Miami Hurricane, super dude. Former Walter Payton Man of the Year nominee. Super dude, superhuman, super huge too. He'll be a presence in the locker room. I don't know how much he has left in the tank, but he will be a rotational body on the line for us on the D line.
It's funny, and like he's achieved so much more. But the one thing I will always remember Calais Campbell for is the injury to Ryan Tannehill. Like that's it. And again, like it wasn't on purpose. It was unfortunate, but that season where I feel like, you know, Tannehill under Gase, it finally clicks with like, Joe, we might see something from Ryan Tannehill out of the game. And it's just like, yeah. But yeah, you know, IMAX says, come home, Kadeem. He's come home, Kadeem, not here. He's a Kane. And yeah, like, you know, I'm not being negative. Like, I want him in Miami. It's just, you hurt, what do you call it? You hurt Tannehill. Like, it is what it is. But yeah, Calais Campbell, yeah, rotation piece. And anything I say, just repeating what's already been said, by yourself, Charlie, by people on social media, in articles. The Dolphins over the last few years have had, really good success with some of the vets they brought in. You look at Melvin Ingram. Obviously,
I love that. I love that addition.
I'm surprised he didn't come back at some point. Like, I really thought he would have come back.
No, he did come back. He came back.
Oh, he did, right.
Well, yeah, he came back for like the playoff game.
Yeah.
Something like that. And I thought he would have made it through the whole season, but it is what it is.
So no, he's in the building. Interesting to see how he gets on, how he's used, how Anthony Weaver, because again, we kind of saw in Baltimore, even though he wasn't the DC, there's a lot of rotation on the defensive line, keep guys fresh, keep guys healthy. Having Calais Campbell come in for, 1 or 2 plays in the series, or, more than that, but just having him around the building, guys like Chop Robinson, learning from him and stuff like that, I can assume it will only be a good thing.
That's the net on the head right there. Chop Robinson learning from multiple high quality character dudes in that room.
Yeah. The other addition the Dolphins made is safety Marcus May. Came from, I believe, the Saints, but got drafted by the East Rutherford Paper Plains, like 2019, 2020, like maybe even a bit before then. Would you surprise the Dolphins brought in safety help, or was it kind of seemed very obvious given the way the was built?
Because Deshaun Elliott's no longer with us. Friend of the podcast, Brandon Jones, no longer with us. We do have Justin Poyer, but he's a starter, so he wanted people behind him. And the Justin Simmons train has left the station. If you bring in Marcus May, so I thought we would bring in a safety. I really wanted to keep friend of the podcast, Brandon Jones, but I'm cool with Marcus May. He's straight.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Hey, the comments going down, by the way. Y'all boys living it up in the comments. Like, hey, y'all got all the audio listeners, y'all got to come to YouTube and check out the comments as the podcast goes, man. This is some pretty good stuff in these comments.
Genuinely, like, I'm reading every single comment. I'm just like, as always, it's not a Tua episode, but we can talk Tua because everything in the chat is Tua, how much he should be paid. People saying they're fans, people saying they're not fans. So yeah, if you're listening back on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get a podcast from, go to YouTube, leave a like, get involved in the comment section as well, because it's clearly a passionate topic for fans. But yeah, I think a lot of fans wanted Justin Simmons. I can understand why they wanted Justin Simmons. But there's a cap to think of, and the chances are Marcus May is willing to play for a lot less. That doesn't mean you're going to get lesser quality. It's just a matter of, hey, you're probably not going to be a starter as it is.
It's like a role player in basketball. Just needing to play a role.
100%. But also, it might have been Doug Duwong. It might have been Josh Casco. Shout out to both those guys. Been on the show before. If you haven't already, subscribe to them. Like, I don't know where you've been. Same old Dolphin show, Doug Duwong. But they basically said, could this essentially them saying, we need some safety help. Don't put too much money into a free agent because we want to, sit down with friend of the podcast, Javon Holland, and get his contract signed.
Shout out to friend of the podcast, Javon Holland, for getting his degree from the University of Oregon with the mic drop of a post on Instagram that said C's in fact do get degrees. All right, that was money right there. Y'all, you ever heard about that, Kadeem? Like, C's don't get degrees. You remember that? You ever heard that in London? Well, that's the thing in the States. People say C's don't get degrees.
Yeah, I feel like.
Hey, do y'all even have letter grades out there?
Yeah, we once you get to secondary school, they kind of like start to implement it. But like it's not really ingrained. Or my generation, it wasn't really ingrained in us. It was kind of like, we've gone from having number grades like level or like a level 6 or level 7 to C, B, A's and stuff like that. And yeah, so like my little sister, my son now, when they're at school, it's a matter of getting their B's and A's and stuff like that. I done well in school. I didn't get no A's, but is what it is.
Hey, happy Father's Day, Kadeem.
Yeah, thank you very much. Had to beat my son at Mario Kart at the arcade. Had to show him that it's Father's Day, not your birthday. So I will beat
Bro,
you.
that's a loving parent right there. You know what I'm saying? Give them the lessons when they don't want the lessons. Beat them down in Mario Kart. That's a loving father. I rock with you, dog.
I appreciate it. But yeah, so yeah, congratulations to Javon Holland on his not diploma, his degree.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, do you reckon the Marcus May edition not paves the way, but kind of says to Holland, we do want to extend you long term, or was it just a case of he's available, Holland will get done separate to whoever came in?
I think we want to win right now. So I think we're adding depth. Like, we don't want to get banged up so much in one position, and then that position just evaporates during the season, like it did with corner 2 seasons ago and with receiver last season. I think we want to have as much depth as possible, and Chris Greer is just building the roster. I think we want to keep Javon Holland. I think he will get extended because you want to set a precedent. You don't want the precedence of drafting people and never paying them. You know what I'm saying? Like, you want to keep your people in-house, and we just let go of some tenured Miami Dolphins. So I think you're gonna want to keep the new regime around of these new Miami Dolphins. You got something else before we get into bonus time?
Yo, I can sit here and read the chat. Like, again, like I'm listening to what you're saying, but my eyes just like on the chat. It's again, people making excellent points on both sides about Tua. Shout out to everyone in the chat, keeping us going. Cap, Jason, Oos, Raphael, Sea Devil. If you haven't commented and you're here, be it on Twitter, jump over to YouTube, get involved, let us know what you think about the signings, also Tua. But no, outside of that, I have nothing more to add until we get into bonus time.
Interesting stat from PFF. Most consecutive winning streaks. Kansas City with 11 winning seasons. My bad. Most consecutive winning seasons. Kansas City with 11, Buffalo with 5, Miami with 4, Pittsburgh with 4. Like, Miami got 4 consecutive winning seasons. It doesn't really seem like that because we're not having the success in the playoffs. But Buffalo only has 5, is what I took from that. Like, dang. Like, bro, we're supposed to be the big brother to Buffalo, bro. We're supposed to smack the little brother around, you know what I'm saying? And it doesn't feel like that lately. Like, it's been like we were the little brother of late, and I think we turned the corner this year.
Yeah. Very quickly on that, did you see what Holland said about that stat?
Nah.
So he was like, Pittsburgh on what, 4, I think it is?
Yeah, Pittsburgh's at 4.
And he was like, how can that be when coach hasn't had a losing season? Like, that makes no sense. But people were like, but yeah, you've probably gone 8-8 in some of those years, and that's not a winning season. It's not. So like
right. It's just not a losing season. 8-8 is not a losing season.
Yeah.
But yeah, hey, let's get it a bonus time real quick. Y'all follow us to bonus time. You want to say something, Kadeem?
No, there's a question, but we can answer it in bonus time. It's not an issue.
Hey, cliffhanger. Come on over to bonus time. Let's get to some of these comments. Y'all know what time it is. Stay positive. Test negative. For Kadeem Simmons, I'm Charlie Touche. Thank you for tuning in this time. Make sure you catch us next time on Go Time. Already.
Gotta make them lose their mind when it's your time. And it's show time. Going all out when it's go time. I ain't wasting no time. Gotta make them lose their mind when it's show time. Cause it's your time. Lay it on the line when it's go time. Don't waste no time. Gotta make them lose their mind when it's your time. And it's show time. Going all out when it's go time. I ain't wasting no time.
Just watching the outro video, I can't wait to get like updated photos of me and you outside of like Hard Rock Stadium. Us like arms out, looking at the stadium.
So it's already coming. Like that has to happen. We're gonna have another photo shoot, get some updated pics of us. Yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah. again, the chat is going off about quarterbacks, but there's a question from Oos. He says, Kadeem and Charlie, how about this? Trade Tua to Dallas for Dak since he is not wanted here. Would you make that trade?
Would I trade Tua for Dak? Head up. The answer is no, I wouldn't. But it is I would entertain it. The only reason why I wouldn't is because I feel like the continuity of the team is where it needs to be to win a championship, and we're super close. And I really believe we're super. I believe we should have did it last year, but you had circumstances. Hill and Waddle hurt. Eight people on defense hurt. 11 people on defense hurt. Something like that.
Let's count.
Yeah. So I think circumstances weren't in our favor. So I don't think we didn't win because of the quarterback is my answer to that. Now I would take Dak. I don't know if I would take Dak over Tua though. I like what Tua brings to the table. Dak is going to be more money than Tua too. Like, I don't understand that. So I'm happy where we are. I like the continuity, but Dak and Tua are basically on the exact same level, close to the same level, in my opinion.
I think when Sheraz Steve was last on, and I believe he said if there was a QB opening in Miami, a bunch of players will be calling to say, "Hey, get me to Miami." And I think in the scenario you pointed out earlier, where you said that if a contract doesn't get done by the time the season starts, the Dolphins might, tag him, or they might trade him or whatever. I could see a scenario where Dallas and Miami say, "Hey, we both got quarterbacks who want the bag. We also kind of don't want to lose them for free and be fighting among the rest of the league for these guys. So why don't we just swap? You give us Tua, we give you Dak. We'll get the contracts done." Both might turn around and say, "Thanks, but no thanks. We want an open market. We want to have a choice as to where we go. We want to get paid all the extra money and stuff like that." But yeah, right now I wouldn't make that trade, and I'm pretty sure if Tom Valentine wasn't running away from Greg Van Rotten or enjoying himself at the Euros. No, Tom's at the Euros. Tom's following Scotland around the Euros. So
Scotland.
Yeah. That's an awful accent. But yeah, so I'm sure Tom is screaming, through his phone saying, "Kadeem, trade Dak for Tua, stop being stupid." But this is a Miami Dolphins podcast. It's not a Dallas Cowboys podcast. I'm going to be rooting for Tua. I want Tua in the building, and regardless of what everyone has said in the comments, I think Tua does have leverage. I think Tua deserves to get paid, and I think ultimately a deal will get done between the two sides.
Yeah, I think they both have leverage, by the way. I think the Dolphins have I guess they can't both have leverage, but I think both are in a good place to negotiate. I think Tua could hold it down and be like, well, now you have to go back into the quarterback market in a year or two, and who's going to be quarterback? Unlike this year is the only year where the Dolphins can mess around and put Dak against Tua, because Dak is going to be a free agent if he doesn't get paid. And so that's the only way, only thing against Tua, like that the Dolphins can hold against Tua, because Tua can be like, well, who you going to go get? You going to go get Baker Mayfield? You know what I'm saying? You're going to go get Matt Stafford? You're going to go get who you going to go get? David Carr? You see what I'm saying? Like, these are the quarterbacks
Derek Carr, you mean?
My bad, Derek Carr. So you know what I'm saying? Like, these are the quarterbacks you're going to entertain when y'all don't sign me. And then the argument is going to be, well, we could pay them less and build a better team around them. And I don't want to entertain that. Kirk Cousins, because they got a quarterback in Atlanta, they just drafted. You know what I'm saying? I don't want that. Even though Kirk Cousins would be dope, but not doper than Tua. So there's leverage for Tua, but then there's also the Dolphins saying, well, you don't get this $50-something million anymore then. And you know what I'm saying? And now you have to play under a franchise tag. Well, now you have to play this year for $25 million. Go figure. And then you have to play next year for $43 million on a franchise tag, or $47 million on a franchise, or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So there are pros and cons, and there are some tactics both sides can use to entice the other to settle.
Shout out to Ricky Watson. I have a feeling Ricky was over on Twitter and then jumped over to YouTube to get involved in the Tua conversation in the comments. If I'm wrong, then I apologize. If I'm right, we've still got a few more minutes to get involved. What I will say, I've just seen a comment in the comments from Cap to Jason saying, I bet you don't even live in Miami. I don't live in Miami. I am from London. I will not tolerate non-Miami hate or like non-Miami living conditions, because if I could, I would live in Miami just to watch the Dolphins. But yeah, listen, it's going to be, as I said earlier, I will be in Miami weeks 1 and weeks 2. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be a blast. And funny how things pan out. Week 1 is Tua Tagovailoa v Trevor Lawrence. So
listen, boy. Hey, you might have a $25 million quarterback versus a $55 million quarterback, and yeah, I cannot wait for that. Or you might have two $55 million quarterbacks, and someone's gonna lose. I cannot wait for that week, bro.
Imagine the Tua deal isn't signed by then, and it's Tua up against Trevor Lawrence, and Tua does beat Trevor Lawrence. Everyone's like
dusted him too.
But the thing is, everyone's gonna be like, well, now you got to pay me even more. Like, he just beat the $55 million man. Like, Tua's going to turn up the next day and be like, you done messed up, because that's another 10 mil. Like, also another 100 mil. Like, I tried to tell you. I was that guy. I tried to tell you I was him. It is what it is. But no, listen, guys, thank you so much for... Honestly, anything else, Harley?
Hey, GTD is gonna do something when Kadeem comes to Miami. We'll be in Miami chilling. We're trying to put something together, and y'all could come out and chop it up with us. Some type of Go Time Dolphins hangout for a day or a night or something like that. We'll figure it out.
Do you know what? Before I go, I do have one more thing.
Before I let you go, hey,
is that Blackstreet?
Can I get a kiss goodnight?
That sound that
is. Before I let you go, can I get a kiss goodnight, baby?
Yeah, Blackstreet. Listen, again, oh my days. Give me 2 seconds.
Oh my goodness. No, listen, we can't even get up out of here.
I promise you'll be worth it. Give me 2 seconds.
Let's go, Kadeem. Look what I done did. Hey, shout out. Hey, y'all boys in the comments going at it. Look at Kadeem. Cap for life, Jason Keck. Sea Devil, shout out to Ricky Watson. What Kadeem got here?
Right, it's 2 things. One, I found my working iPod, 160 gig. It's been.
Is that Mace?
It might have been. That's Rick Ross.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, working iPod, so much music on there. I know you said I'm like I don't know what my songs. Listen, I've got everything. And then 2, one for the next episode, but a bit of a cliffhanger. Charlie, I've got a riddle for you and everyone else. You ready for it?
I like riddles.
So it's an easy one. Each morning I appear to lie at your feet. All day I will follow, no matter how fast you run. Yet I nearly perish in the midday sun. What am I?
You want me to answer it now?
Nah, leave us your answers in the comments. I will ask you again on the next episode. And yeah, Charlie, you can give me your answer. But no, again, guys, thank you so much for all the comments. Shout out to Color Commentary, joining us at the very last second. Color, go and tell Cap I still hate him. I have no time for him. I will see him week 1.
You said Cap? Oh, Captain.
Yeah, Cap. Yeah. Yeah, apologies. El Capitan, not Cap for life. El Capitan, I have no time for you. I will see you week 1 outside the Hard Rock Stadium. Everyone else, thank you so much for joining us. Leave a like, comment, get involved in the Tua conversation. It has been popping off in the chats. We shall see you on the next one. Peace.
Peace.